Okay, guys, you're welcome to my channel. Today we have many things to actually discuss. I'm very sorry. Yesterday, I could not do the live stream simply because I was having some problems with my internet and I could not actually do the live stream. So I want to apologize to the community for that. Now, moving on, we have NUC Nigerian Universities Commission coming out and saying that they are currently processing applications for 330 private universities in Nigeria currently, and then that led me to the question of where are we heading when it comes to these universities? The people that we're showing at, what are we becoming? Why do we exist, and how do we get the like the issues of vision and all that? And without discussing many of things, if you look at the current state of Nigeria, there is massive unemployment. And gone are the days where the ideology still holds true that go to school, get a certificate, become a graduate, and then you will have a better life. There are people who have graduated with with honors and all that. They did not have a better life. So we as a nation and as a TV network, we are not actually encouraging mediocrity per se. But what we are saying is this, that people must understand that education goes beyond an institution. That education is a lifelong process. And I find it very amazing that many Nigerians and many people out there in the world, they are not leveraging the power of the internet. When you talk about tools like Quora, where you can ask a question on any topic and you can get answers. It's so amazing that, let's say for example, you are learning data science or AI or machine learning. How do you predict stuffs? How do you do this and all that? There are sites where you can go and see people's code samples they've already done on problems. There are sites that will teach you things for free. There are sites you can ask questions and people will answer. So it doesn't even matter the field to which you want to specialize. Now, that is for online education and all that. Now, when we talk about our institutions, when you compare the internet and you compare our institutions are no go. So they are very expensive. That is number one. Then they are not even giving the right kind of education. Universities, most of the private or even the public, but it largely affects the public. Most of these public universities, they are not teaching what is in vogue. There are other teaching courses that are irrelevant. How can you be studying mass communication in this generation? How can you be studying linguistics and other courses? I'm not saying those courses are bad, but what I'm saying is that they are almost, if not 100% irrelevant in today's era. You get the stuff? So people need to start teaching the right kind of skills, because that is what will solve the Nigerian kind of problem. And then what about if we start building universities that have things like research and development, where you fund things like, there are universities like Harvard, they have Harvard Fund, where they fund ideas and all that. What about if we start having entrepreneurial hubs? What about if we start having schools that train people to become entrepreneurs? You want to become a computer entrepreneur? Oh, they teach you the programming side that you need. They teach you the business aspect. They teach you the connection. They teach you how to run many things. That is how our institutions are going to actually increase. Now, you see this stuff. Private universities. How many people can buy? How many people can actually gain admission into these private universities? There are very few. Very few people can actually get admission into these private universities. Now, that is not to say that private universities should not exist. But what we are saying is that the government should come in and also do something about education. And I like the initiative of private institutions. We have Covenant universities, we have Landmark University coming out, and they are trying to do something and build world-class universities so that we can get world-class learning. The government should also do that, because not everybody have the 8 million naira to pay per year to get university education. So those who have just 30,000 naira, those who have just 100,000 naira or 200,000 naira to pay for a public university, the government should make those institutions top notch. They should give the right things, because if you're not giving the right thing, it becomes a very big problem. And then moving on, we have the issue of Atiku. Atiku he said he's not going to let go because he was actually robbed of his mandate, and that this case is going to fight the case till he actually wins. And I actually like him because he's not just coming up and giving hope so soon. And he's actually come out there and he said he's going to fight the case because he has details that he actually won the election. And we will go through some of the stuffs and see if he actually won the election or not. Now he's saying that he's going to call the experts from Microsoft, experts from Oracle, experts from IBM and all that to come and verify the servers of the INEC, to come and verify the INEC stuffs, because INEC had card readers and they said that nobody's going to vote except the card readers and all that. Now these are the stuffs. When President Buhari, the bill was sent before President Buhari many times that he should assent to the bill, he did not assent to the bill, but rather he said that after this election he will assent to the bill. And that is the question, like, you know that you want to assent to the bill. What about if the president comes now and have some senators that revoke the bill after you've actually signed the bill? So, and the Senate, who has the power to override the president's decision if they have 2/3 of the majority, they did not do that. Do you know why? The problem is not just Buhari. The problem is not just the head. The problem is that except there is a revolution in every aspect of Nigeria, Nigeria is not going to progress. There are just few people. The people that are holding Nigeria captive, they are less than 100,000 people. And these people, they are so desperate that they will keep holding the country back, except we actually as a people come and fight for our right. So the man is not actually is not actually letting go. He's saying that he will actually fight for his mandate, and I like him. Even there are people, forget the issues that Atiku is a thief in this and that. All those are allegations. Nobody has been able to prove it, and that is why we talk about the Nigerian case. If you look at Nigeria, when you talk about Fayose stole this, Ganduje did this, we don't have a system yet where we can actually prove people guilty. We don't have the system. So even if we see the evidences that something happened, you cannot directly link those evidence to a particular person. So even if you say Ganduje was putting money in his Babariga, you have to prove to the court that he's actually guilty. And that is why they stopped the case. So even if we as people say he's guilty, we cannot really prove that he's actually guilty. Because for you to actually say somebody is guilty, you have to prove before the law court. And that is where the problem is. Our courts are corrupt. So how do you hold corrupt people guilty? These are the issues. So even if the man will not win, forget the stuff that people say is a corrupt man. The man can be anybody. The man can be Mr. Integrity. The man can be Obama. The man can be President Trump or anybody. Even till today, the US, they are still on the Russia case that Russia meddled in their elections. They are still on the case that President Trump could have in hand, could have connived with Russians. Even after the man had won and been sworn in since 2016, they are still fighting. Do you know why? If it is in Nigeria, they would have blocked the case and they would have said the case is useless. But the case is very, very, very tough. That even high-profile people have been indicted in the case. So until Nigerians get to that point where nobody is bigger than the country. You see, there are times where we have leaders who said, I've come into power, I will have a second term. And I don't care if no single soul in Nigeria vote for me. All I know, I will come back to power. And it's those kind of people, they don't even care about votes. And why should we be wasting our money at the end of the day when we know that we are not going to have we're not going to have elections? Rather, the person who has power will impose himself in power, or the person who has power will impose his preferred candidate in power. So we should be thinking about all those things. I like the way he has challenged the suit, and many other candidates did not challenge the suit because maybe they did not have chances to win and all that. But this man said he has evidence. Okay, I see there is a problem with Nigerians. The problem of Nigerians is that we have this thing called power. We don't use this thing called brain. we use this stuff called power. We want to use force. The man said he has evidence, right? Don't tell him that he won the election in his dream. Sir, bring your evidence. And then we know if you actually have evidence or not. Because you talk about a man like this, the shaman of Enoch. This man, under his watch, many things have terrible things have actually happened in the country. Very terrible and terrific things have actually happened under his watch. And it's time for us to start beginning to question, should Enoch be the only body to conduct elections in Nigeria? And I believe that every nation in the world are supposed to have a statutory body that is giving the authority to actually conduct elections and to declare a winner. But it does not end there. That is why we have election tribunals. You should, as a person who is a candidate, not even a candidate, as a citizen, come up and say that this election is this. I am challenging the results. And nobody. It is very, very unpolite. It is very, very lugubrious, and it is sardonic that people who call themselves senior advocates of Nigeria, people like this, Festus Keyamo, and people who will think they are educated, should wake up and utter comments and say that it is very, very unreasonable. Like Keyamo said that the petition filed by Atiku is one of the most useless petitions. You see a lawyer making this kind of statement, you see that this man is speaking from his own pocket. He's speaking because money is talking. I am of the opinion, listen, sir, whether a person has trash, if we gather 50 people here in a meeting and somebody is speaking, let him speak. While in school, when the Nigerian when we're having meeting in school meeting and all that, there were people who, if somebody is trying to talk in the meeting, they will shut the person down. Why? Because maybe they are seniors, maybe they are 1 year over the person, and they will not allow the person to actually speak. And it's very, very silly. If the man is going to court, let him go to court. And then we begin to compare if this man who they call Inek Shema Mahmoud Yakubu, if between him and Morrissey, who is actually the worst person out there, because I don't see any difference between him, because even this man is even worse than Morrissey. Now you talk about INEC, for example. INEC said they came before the Senate and they said they needed 212 million naira to manage the INEC server. Sir, if you did not know about stuff that has to do with computers, what is a server? These are questions that Nigerians are supposed to ask themselves. Why do you need a server? Because if you look at Nigeria, the election is so flawed, because from the cancellation of, meaning the postponement, to the cancellation at some point, to the methods that happen in the election, you see that this election is a sham. Nigeria is a sham, and Nigeria is not going to progress. Except the electoral process in Nigeria, it's solid. People should not tell us that you should not challenge the results. It is democracy, right? It's not a military rule when you say nobody should not be challenged. It's democracy. If you lost, you should challenge the results. Even if you lost by, if Buhari won 20 million votes and Atiku had 1 vote, you should challenge it. The reason you see other candidates did not challenge it is because they know that even what they had is not even enough. How many candidates have up to 1 million votes? None of them. So you have just 2 contenders, and that is why the person who said he won the election, he is contesting. So until we have electoral processes, an electoral system in Nigeria where you can challenge the result, we are not going anywhere in the country. It's a very simple truth. We're not going anywhere in the country. So what do you need this money for? You said, okay, at the end of the result, at the end of the day, now you said there is nothing like there is no results in the INEC server. What kind of shaman is this? This is the same shaman who was telling journalists every time they were asking him, sir, are you ready to conduct election? He said, we are more than ready. You cancelled the election 3 a.m. and the man, nobody today, the man did not budge. The man did not budge. Let me put him on the screen. The man did not budge. The man did not budge. He did not budge. He did not even resign. You see, that is the problem of Nigeria. You see, the same President Buhari, let's put him on the screen. The same President Buhari, who when there was fire at the Imo State airport, the man did not speak anything. The same President Buhari, if they kill people in different places, did not speak anything. He spoke when the Notre Dame fire happened in France. We're not saying you should not speak, oh. Sir, if you will be good to outside people, be good to inside people. It's a simple ideology. You cannot wake up as a man. So you cannot say you are responsible when your child out there in the house is dying of food, and you are going to give food to outside somebody. And then it is bad to also be concentrate on your family and not concentrate on the outside. There has to be a balance. You don't have to be an hypocrite at any point. So we need to have a kind of democratic system in Nigeria, and people should be allowed to challenge the result. The same Buhari challenged the result 3 times, and it was ahead. Even though it may not be something true, I know that he was threatening people with death threats, and the bamboo is gonna soak himself with blood. I know that. The question is if the man, Goodluck Jonathan, did not actually win. Did not actually step down, what would have happened? There are things here now. If Atiku is going to court, people are saying Keyamo is trying to rubbish it. Don't rubbish it. They have evidence. They have gone before the courts now, and they have presented a 146 document, PDP. And it's time they will go and verify it. They are breaking the IBM people. Whether PDP wrecks the country or not, these are not the things we are talking about. Whether it is AAC or any party that will contest against these parties, our system will start maturing when we can challenge things. Our country will start maturing when we can speak as a journalist to Buhari like I'm doing. And you will not be afraid that you will come under arrest. Go on the internet. President Trump, he was speaking, a journalist confronted him. And after that incident, the White House actually withdrew the license of CNN. They challenged it in court, and the license was restored. You don't run an impunity government. And impunity is when somebody says he has power, and you will issue an arrest of somebody. Like, I'm the governor of this state, and this man published a report about me, so therefore get him arrested. That is impunity. That is what impunity. So people should speak, and they should be allowed to speak. If not, there's a very, very big problem in our country. Now you see what is on the screen out there. It's the INEC result, and even before the election was actually called, there were some results that were flying around on the internet, and somebody said he got the results 6 days even before INEC conducted the election. So where did these people get the election from? And I because I downloaded it from the internet, and can I tell you that 90% of the stuff was correct. So you are about to write a WAEC exam or JAMB exam, and you already have the questions. Where did you get the questions from? It is something that JAMB will have to answer for. It is something that the invigilators will have to what? Answer for. So there is somebody who leaked it. And let it go to the court and let them go and prove it. Because these governments that says they are fighting corruption, they are not doing anything. You talk about Omotola coming after the federal government and saying under President Buhari, the government is hellish, I know that. And they've come after her. They are saying that it's only corrupt people, I know that. The lady raised a simple question that under President Buhari, money is not circulating. Under President Buhari, that people are being killed up and down by uniformed herdsmen. And that under this government, life has become unbearable and hellish. And that Nigeria may soon implode. This is a fact that everybody knows. Even the deaf is hearing that there is hardship here with their ear. Even the blind cannot see that there is hardship. Even if the blind is not seeing anything, the blind can see hardship. Even if the deaf are not hearing anything, they can hear hardship. Even if those who are dumb, who cannot speak, they can speak hardship, the language of hardship. Everybody is understanding the language of hardship here. Who will not know that there is insecurity in the country? Who will not know that the country is unbearable? Or is it not which day did How many of us know about Alex Bade, the former chief of air staff under Goodluck regime, who was killed? And you are telling me that you wake up. This is the President Buhari's government. Talk about people like the Ogunlise and other people like Bashir Ahmad, people like the Festus Keyamo, the Garba Shehu, who will come and they will tell us that 1 + 1 is no more 2. Yes, they will tell us. They will tell us that 1 + 1 is no more 2. That 1 + 1 now under the Buhari regime is 3. That is what they will tell us. No, 1 + 1 is equals to 11 now. This is the government. They want to twist English. They are saying black. They are saying the black is not black. We are saying white and they are saying no. No wonder when I was growing up as a kid, this guy sang, I've forgotten the name, is Africa China. If you be senator, senator swear. If you be governor, governor swear. If you be police, he sang it many years ago and many people did not take it serious. How many of our musicians today are singing? And a celebrity, Omotola, a celebrity who has won a different award, was bold enough to speak. Do you know why many people are not speaking? You see, and that is why when I started this shining, it was based on the premise that we were not just coming to discuss. We're not coming on this channel to come and discuss that there is an actress, an actor, a musician who is doing this. I don't care about their life. I will only pick their story when I need to talk about the points, and not just to come and talk about Davido and Shoma. How is that supposed to be how is that supposed to be your business? So the premise of this channel was funded. It's called Nigerian Concern, to talk about the things that pain the Nigerian society and how do we provide solutions to them. So she was bold enough. See, the part of truth, the one who speaks truth is unpopular. The one who speaks truth is hated. She was bold enough to come and speak against this government. And all the government can say is that those who are making clean money are not complaining about hardship in Nigeria. Go and ask Dangote. Will Dangote be bold enough to say there's hardship in Nigeria? Will it be bold? The economy affects every single person. If somebody, the unrest now, the unrest in the northeast, can Dangote go and invest there? What are you telling me? Can he go and invest there? Can you bring a white man now to Nigeria without security? We're not talking about beans and account security. We're talking about hefty security. How many of our boats who are that are on the sea, that even though these boys, the pirates, are breaking into to go and take people and be demanding ransom for? So it goes beyond just waking up and uttering comments and saying that there is no hardship in Nigeria. There is hardship in Nigeria. And I'm glad she spoke, because she did not fear the powers in her day. She did not fear. She was not a coward to not have spoken against the powers of her day. And I'm very happy for her. And then we're going to end the news here.